see, I had notes.
Is it now? Yes.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Mitchell was trying to signal me, and I didn't realize it was going to come up. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Star Wars. Thank you so much for tuning back in. Oh, my God, James. Has anyone seen the holiday special? That's what it reminds me of. Okay.
Same budget.
Yeah, same budget. Thank you, everyone, for tuning back in. This is our Star Wars Session 4. Yes, so cool. I am Alex. I am the GM for this game. Thank you for tuning in for Penny for a Tale. I'm going to go around, and the players are going to introduce themselves. They can introduce their characters if they want. They don't have to. But we're going to go start off so we can jump right in, starting with Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I play Quigley. He is a gank, and he is in custodialship of Bit, and yeah, that's all I got right now.
And what does Bit? And who is Bit?
Bit is a Twi'lek child that we didn't really get into how he came to possess guardianship of her.
Not yet, so we don't have to go into that right now. Maybe it'll come up later. Maybe it won't. We don't know. But that is okay. Going over to Jasmine.
Hi, I am Consular Belandi, and I am what you call a I mess this up every time. Is Marillion?
Mary Allen.
Allen.
Mary Allen. Marillion?
So just think green skinned healer people. Yeah.
Yeah. Barissa Faye, Luminaire Unduli. Yeah. Over to James, our newest player. Yeah.
Hey everybody, I am James. I am playing Cookie the Wookiee.
All parties need a Wookiee. Every
Star Wars game needs a Wookiee.
It
I am
really
a firm believer.
Absolutely. And lastly, our favorite player, my favorite player. Just kidding. Mitchell.
You bitch.
Have favorites.
Hi, I'm Mitchell. Today I will continue to play Noah, who is a school teacher. Also a Mickean.
Yeah. I love Mickeans. I love anything with tentacles on the head. Tentacles on the head in Star Wars is like,
I mean, it's my
good
primary
combo for me.
search on Google, so it kind of works out.
Same.
It's a family show.
It is not.
It is not a family show. However,
if you have kids, send them away, please.
Possibly. All right, so we're gonna hop in. I need everybody to do their Destiny dice roll.
Oh, right.
Yay, Destiny.
It's just one white die, correct?
One white die. Yep.
I got Dark Side.
You're on light side.
Hold on. All right. Mitchell got D.
The dank side.
One dark, one light. Jasmine.
Whoops. Sorry.
That doesn't sound right.
Destiny die. It's the white die.
Yep.
Right?
One white die. Yep.
One white die. All right. So dark side.
Okay. And James.
I got one light side.
Okay, so we're split 2-2, 2 dark side, 2 light side. So for reminder, players, you have that those 2 light side points. So you can either bump up a stat, or I allow for 1 reroll with using that. But it'll of course go over to the dark side, and I can use my dark side points to make your lives much harder. So keep that in mind. So we set up.
Question.
Sure.
Does our one light die from last time carry over? Nope.
Does not. No Destiny dies carry over from game to game. It's we roll at every new time.
And how many subs do we need for me to get a lightsaber?
A lot.
Hey, hang on. Subs mean something different in the other part of my brain.
Yes.
No, we're thinking the same
How many
thing.
subs do you want, Mitch?
Both answers are 69.
Oh, of course.
Cool. Okay.
Silly.
We set back. We our adventurers have crash landed on the planet Rishi. after escaping the TIG space station, along with a Rebel Alliance companion who had been secretly carrying some sort of plans or something stolen from wild space, but from the Empire. And they have managed to crash land on Rishi, keep the ship at least somewhat still together, and with the prospect of possibly repairing it. They have landed in a colony or near a colony of Zeltrons, who are brightly colored, brightly skinned humanoid creatures that have set up a small village colony between these two large mountains. The atmosphere is very tropical, so think of like Jurassic Park, Isla Sora. So where we last left off, we had Noah and Belandi meeting with Kayaz. Actually, I'm going to get this name right because I wrote it down. It is Kayaz. Kayaz, the village elder, female Zeltron, who introduced herself and let Belandi and Noah kind of know that they are welcome to stay. Their group is allowed to stay as long as they don't tell the outside world about them. They won't do the same. So they have safe haven here for right now. During this conversation, Cookie, Quigley, Bit, and Jen had remained on the ship along with Red to try and assist Cookie with their attempt to repair the ship. So I'm going to switch it back to that scene real quick because I kind of meant to do that last game, but we kind of ran out of time. So switching back, this is taking place while Belandi and Noah are down at the village. So Cookie, you're repairing the ship currently, and Quigley, you are still kind of recovering. Bit and Jen are hanging around the ship, as well as Red. So Cookie, let's start off. James, have listed everything wrong with the ship. So can you refresh the viewers what is wrong with all the ship?
A little bit of everything is wrong with this ship. Not only was there, it started with a faulty trigger mechanism in the dorsal turret, and that led to a short circuit in the wall panel in the turret housing.
Mm-hmm.
It also took a lot of external damage from blaster fire, as well as I believe a couple of hits from a TIE fighter.
Yes, they did take some hits from a TIE fighter in their escape. There's possibly also some thermal detonator damage because of a certain someone.
Who shall? The one particular cabinet is mangled beyond repair. I have no idea what happened in there, and it haunts my dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and then crashed, basically a short crash landing on the surface of Rishi. So I believe at least one landing gear snapped off. Engine 1 completely locked up, and the hyperdrive is cracked and leaking.
Yes, there's a lot wrong with this ship. So, Cookie, I take it this is what you're going to be foreseeably working on, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would probably start with the hyperdrive because it's probably not the healthiest thing to be leaking into the cabinet. Yeah,
that was going to be my question. What order of repairs would you be starting with and kind of going through?
I would probably go backwards. I would do the hyperdrive and then the engine, then start working on the hull repairs, and then internal things down to the micro mechanisms, and the trigger mechanism would probably come last.
Okay.
But it would definitely be I need to diagnose where this all started, and it would inevitably lead to that damn trigger mechanism.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to roll two things. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make you do three things. So first one is going to be a perception roll.
A perception roll.
Yep. And this is only going to be 2 purple die as a challenge because you kind of know what's going on. And at least the readouts the ship is giving you is assisting with what things need to be repaired.
Okay, that looks like it's going to be 1 advantage and 2 failures.
Okay, that's fine. So that was to kind of get a mechanic's idea of like the sounds and the smells of the ship and your own experience being a mechanic and kind of getting that whole feel of, oh man, there's a lot of things going on here. There's, oh man, I
me,
even
baby.
smell. Yeah,
Talk to me.
exactly. The talk to me, like, come on, let me hear all this stuff. That sense that mechanics get when they, first walk into a problem. So maybe there's just so much there that it's like, oh man, oh boy, you got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, I think.
Yeah. So the next roll we're going to do is going to be a mechanics roll because you're
Okay.
going to start that, but you're going to have a couple of those as we go on. But first, let's just do one. This is very hard. This is a daunting thing. So it's going to be, let's do. Actually, I wrote this down. 3 purple, 1 black, and 1 red.
And because of my gearhead, I can remove 1 setback per rank, which is the purple, correct?
Yes, we're gonna do the purple.
Right,
so we can.
That takes that down to 2 purple, 1 red, 1 black.
Yep.
Let me double check, make sure I don't have anything else going on. And okay. Come on, baby. 1 failure.
Okay. That's fine. All right. So you said you were going to start kind of with the hyperdrive, work your way back, or because that was the one that had the main thing. Okay, so that's what you're going to start on.
I was just trying to stop the leaking.
Yeah. So you have to remove some wall plates and some floor grating that we see because we've seen that in the Millennium Falcon with Han and Chewie kind of working and removing those grates. So that's what you're doing. And alongside you is Red, the Rhodian rebel spy, and they're going to try and assist as well. They don't know much. They can kind of hand you tools if you want, but they're kind of just there. So yeah, they're going to just work with you. And along with them is Quigley, Bit, and Jen. So Quigley, what are you doing during all this as Bit and Jen kind of flit around the ship and maybe even go out of the ship a little bit, but they're kind of, doing their own kid thing. What are you doing?
I guess Quigley's more or less just like maintenance on his rifle and other things, good mercenary upkeep on gear, while trying to simultaneously watch the kids and the Wookiee that is now on their ship that they have stolen.
Red will kind of, as he's trying to assist Cookie, but not doing a very good job. He's kind of like trying to hang back a little bit. He's gonna kind of sit down, not next to you, but like across from you, and give like a heavy sigh. And it's like, man, I understand where your friend is coming from, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know all of the crap that I've seen, all the crap that could happen. I mean, you obviously have seen a lot with Bit. Have you known the horrors of the Empire?
He'll just look up from his rifle and kind of look at him, shrug, and like, 2 things we need to make abundantly clear. 1, not really sure who you mean by friend. 2, the things that me and Bit see stay between me and Bit. And as long as she's not in danger, everything will go smoothly.
I hear you. I respect that. No, I just thought that you guys were all, you guys had all known each other before all of this, but I guess, used to making new acquaintances. How about you? He's gonna kind of call over to Cookie. I love your Wookie. What's your opinion? The Empire, all of that.
And out of the translator, um, the Empire enslaved my people. The Empire is evil. And then just turns back to their work.
Mm. Yeah, he'll let that kind of hang in the air a little bit as he sits there. Well, whatever we have, whatever we found, whatever your friend now has. Speaking about Belandi, because Belandi has the the disc or whatever, has the plans. Whatever your friend has now could really, really turn the tides against them. I don't think you understand how important it is that we get that to the Rebel Alliance.
I don't think you're understanding my position in all this. The Empire's evil. Evil is whatever. I am here to make money and make sure Bit survives long enough to make her own choices in life. Other than that, I could care less who runs the galaxy and what the fuck they do.
The hackles on the back of the Wookiee's neck kind of start to like stand up a little bit, but the head stays down and the sparks kind of start.
But Red, if you want to pay me, I'll make sure that we get you where you need to go, and we'll take out as many Empire assholes in the process as we can.
Red will nod and just kind of, shake his head. I understand. I don't come from anything either. I understand the importance of money, and I know that just having blatant political aspirations or just wanting to do good in this galaxy might not be enough. I understand that. I don't have any money, but I know that the Rebel Alliance will, pay or at least reimburse you for your time and effort that you take to get these plans back to them or to them. I know that they've done that before. I just, I don't know anything.
Quigley will stand up, clap him on the shoulder. He's like, I expect 500,000 credits when we land. And he'll walk off outside to the girls.
Okay.
As Quigley walks outside, the Wookiee turns around and walks up to Red, and take me with you. Please, let me join the Rebel Alliance. Take me with you. Let me join the fight.
Red will nod and kind of, pat, Cookie on the arm and kind of be like, yeah, no, we need fighters. We need fighters like you. We need mechanics like you.
And yeah.
So he'll kind of nod and get back up and kind of try to assist you again. So at this point, we're going to kind of switch it back to Noah and Belandi real quick. So after your meeting with Kayaz, you two are allowed to kind of go back to your ship or wherever you want to go, essentially. What would you two like to do? You both know that they have invited your party to a large ceremonial dinner that'll take place later in that evening. So you've got maybe a couple hours or so to kill. So you're welcome to do whatever you want, wherever you explore, do whatever you want. Go back and maybe tell the people on the ship about this or what have you.
Yeah, I tell Belandi, look, I can't go up that hill. It's just not in me to do it. But hey, I will set up the school room. Got a couple crayons I want to put underneath every desk. Kids love crayons. Yeah, that's where I'll be. How about you, Belindy.
I'm
Belundi.
going to let everyone know that there's food and we have place to sleep. So
All right, cool.
that's my priority right now.
Sounds good.
Uh,
Tell
is
them I wanted
there-
to come. It's just it's a long hike and my asthma's gonna act up and
Of course,
Yeah, it's
of course.
just-
And you wanted to see Kaiser by yourself and everyone else, so I understand that. But what else am I supposed to tell them when I get back there? Did you leave anything?
did I leave anything?
You know, like your little, like your, like a bag or stylus
Uh,
that's not bloody.
No, everything's in my pack.
No teaching materials. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you later. Bye. So
See ya.
I just pick up my robes and just start shuffling off, but not before I grab like a piece of fruit or whatever's in the hall and then walk away.
Yeah, there's food kind of like ambiently because there's this. You're in the jungle. There's a lot of vegetation that they're growing and everything.
Just very fascinated by everything. My science is tingling. So
She gets that looked at.
So, Noah, do you try and flag anyone down to find the location of the schoolhouse that you want to go to, or are you just gonna kind of wander until you find it?
Yeah, I'll flag someone down. Just be like, looking around. Hey, I need help. You citizen.
Yes. Hi. It's a female Zeltron.
Well, hello there. And I'm like,
Her
slick
name
back my tentacles.
Her name is Farah.
Farah, I don't do this often, but where's the teacher's lounge?
Oh, you must be new. The teacher's house is right up there, and she'll kind of point, and it's on a little hill.
Ooh, I like the little hill part. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so it kind of gives you a little bit of high ground.
Hello.
But you must are you the new teacher?
I am the new teacher. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to accept the position. I'm kind of heavily wanted by several people. But it's definitely on the top 3 of my priorities. Likes,
Oh, well, as I'm sure our sure as Kayaz. There we go. Why'd I name a character something I could not think of?
These are hard, guys.
Yeah, I once named a character, and it was my own character. And halfway
Kaisa.
through, I had to change his
Kaisa.
name because I couldn't do it.
As I'm sure Kaisa has made you aware, if just as long as you don't bring anything into our village, you're safe here. But yes, you're
I
welcome
only
to go
brought
up there.
crayons, and all of them are these are the crayons you can sniff, and it doesn't cause brain damage. They're sniff safe, sniff proof. I think is the exact term. Crayola, just really went all on deck for this stuff.
Crayola, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, on the outer edge, you kind of do with what you have to. Any case, yeah, I mean, I don't like outsiders too,
Well, that's very good. We don't get them too often, and it's somewhat of a big thing here when that happens. The last visitor we had, of course, was Cookie, and they've been a great asset to us. They've helped us so much. I can take you up there if you'd like.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a walking companion.
So she would lead you up there. She would start walking and kind of just ambiently talking. There's about 13, 14 kids.
And what's the literacy rate of this populace?
The older ones, they understand basic what we consider galactic common.
Mm-hmm.
They understand it. The younger ones, it would be most beneficial to have an instructor like you here to provide this education. It definitely is needed. Our last instructor, sometimes jungle life or this type of life isn't for everyone, and sometimes things just happen.
What? What?
Eaten by the Wookiee.
Can you expound on that.
Well, I don't want to. I don't
Did
want to
they
speak.
die
Yeah,
horrifically by something in the jungle?
they did pass on. There was
Did they die by something horrific in the jungle?
At this point, she's starting to kind of like realize that maybe she has said a little bit too much, and she's like, you know what, I'll let Kaisa play, tell you more about this. This is really, your decision and her decision. I don't want to speak up.
Yeah. I mean, the past teacher got ripped apart by some jungle animal. I need to know if I'm leading a field trip that I need to run faster than everyone else. I think that's an important thing for me to know. So
I need to trip children.
Let's
let's
need to be faster than the beast. I just need to be faster than them.
Yeah, let's cut the bullshit between you and I. Why don't you just tell me, how did the last teacher die? And that's really all I want to know.
Well,
come on, come out with it.
Give me a charm test.
No.
Yes. Yes.
You're not the boss of me.
I am.
You don't tell the
technically-
master of stories what you're not gonna do.
Wait, what? Charm?
Charm. It's presence. It's going to be 2 purple.
Oh, I see it. Okay, I have 2. Okay, so I got 2 green, 2 purple. This is gonna be great. I got 1 success.
Okay.
Yay!
So after kind of, it's a couple seconds of, all right, listen, I don't feel, don't tell Kaisa that I told you this, but we don't particularly know what exactly happened to the last teacher, but they went into the jungle. They wanted to do some exploring themselves, and they never came back. We found traces of, some of the things that they might have taken in, like, navigation stuff and clothing that was ripped, and it looks like something, maybe had got them from the jungle, but we don't know. They just went out exploring and didn't come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Early in YT 2400 landed on their head.
Skid mark. I feel like it's a teacher. No.
Okay.
No, but it's been several months at this point. So we, like I said, we found some of their stuff. We found some shredded clothing, and it's something, probably did happen. We just don't know.
Okay. All right. Stop there. You're scaring me. What's a pension like here?
Well, I can't speak for the village nor for Kaisa, but
401.
What we do offer is a community, is a family, is love, is acceptance, and of course your school and the house, and as well as any your share of the contribution for the vegetables and the fruit that we grow. All of that. That's that's what we offer.
Cool. Well, look, I am most likely going to accept the position, but I'm going to tell you it's not going to come without cost, okay? My teaching regimen is pretty intense. I'm going to learn you some stuff, and your kids are going to learn stuff, and sometimes they're going to know more than you. But you know what? I'm preparing them for university, all right, at the highest caliber.
I see. Well, you'd be a great asset here, and I do hope that you really consider it.
Cool. I mean, I am considering it. I'm gonna check out this building real quick. I think that's really an important thing. I mean, I have a bad back, so the bed really will play a huge factor in me staying or not.
So yeah, as you're walking up, the house itself is very small. We're talking 1 level. The front half looks like just an open kind of classroom, but there's no chairs, there's no desk, there's nothing. It's just kind of a tatami mat floor, with some sort of board up at the front that you can write on. The back portion, which is divided by a sliding door has basic small kitchenette, basic small bathroom, basic small bedroom, and that's it. So you're getting a classroom that could fit, maybe a dozen or 13 kids, and then a small, very small apartment add-on to it.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna like go to the corner and cut part of the tatami mat open and just kind of look underneath to make sure there's nothing underneath the mat.
that is she was gonna try and stop you, but she's just gonna like, oh
Yeah,
well,
I'm like I know I'm paranoid, but my kids in the past sometimes they would put things that would explode underneath mats sometimes. So I just want to check to see.
Oh, well, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do that.
Poke my head under.
There's nothing down there. It's dirt. It's everything that you would expect to find beneath those type of floorboards.
Okay, cool. We're good. We're set. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna start setting my stuff up. To be honest, I've been kind of holding it for a while. I didn't want to do anything on the ship. A lot has happened. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna use the facilities. You probably want to, I don't know, take a few steps away.
I'll leave you here. But I do hope to see you at the dinner tonight.
Yeah, there'll be food there. So, yeah.
All right. So she'll leave. You're welcome to let you have do whatever you want at the house. So you can continue to do that. I'm going to switch it back over to the other group. Blondie, you were making your way back up to the ship. At this point, you have made your way to the ship. Bit and Jen are kind of, running around outside the ship, getting close to the jungle and just generally being kids. But when they see you, they'll run up to you and be like, Miss Blondie. Hi.
Oh, hi. So I do need to bring everybody together. So just gather around and start
Okay.
walking towards the entrance of the ship.
All right. They'll follow you. Yeah.
And then I just fill them in on what happened with the village leader and that we have beds, we have food tonight. So if you want to stop wherever you're working on, we can just mosey on down and go get some food.
Yes.
Yes, Cookie, I'm so excited to go eat with you as well. I think I understand you. I'm gonna just watch your body language and then kind of go off of that. They're coming for a hug. It's so warm. It's already warm. Are you really warm? That's amazing. I want to conduct a few more tests on this, but first we must get food. So...
What you can't see is that like underneath that leather apron is like a Care Bear symbol, like it's just not really- 'cause, yeah.
So it is a little bit of time before the dinner. We'll say about like 2-ish hours. So you have time to clean up. You have time to kind of get yourself together.
I would like to think that Cookie would be helping with the feast, would be helping prepare food and cooking.
You're welcome to do that. You're welcome. Cookie is at any point and be like,
Especially the meat. Like Cookie is like taking over like the roasting of the pig or whatever.
And that's something that you could
Also
Cookie,
baking.
that Cookie would have kind of offered to the group, since the group tends to be a little bit more on the vegetarian side of things, but they definitely have animals around them and stuff from the jungle, so that is something that Cookie can bring as well, as their experience with cooking meat and all that. So yes, at any point Cookie can leave.
I believe Wookiees are mostly carnivorous.
I think so.
So
yeah.
I think that Cookie probably would have like tried to live off of their food for a while, but eventually just couldn't take it anymore and finally sort of
I'm done with this life.
Maybe I'm trying to like convert a few of them. Like I've got a couple people that keep sniffing around like, well, there's enough for everybody.
So yes, and this meal was given to you as well, Cookie, just you. It's traditional when anybody else comes into the village, they just do kind of a sit down, like, let's see if these people are cool type thing, and that's what this dinner is for. So you can go right on ahead to that. Bit and Jen will both kind of go and to Quigley and ask if they can follow Cookie down to the village.
Yeah, Quigley will kind of nod and be like, "Oh, we'll all go," and he'll sling his rifle over his shoulder and I guess start making their way down to the village.
Okay, so do you do anything between the like? I think Cookie's gonna go on ahead before everybody else. You guys have a little bit of time to kill before the dinner. Is there anything that you want to do before that, like during that time?
So Belandi's gonna try and make her outfit more jungle appropriate,
Mm.
or what she thinks is jungle appropriate, which is basically making the sleeves shorter
Mhm.
and whatever type skirts, pants in the pants.
In the pants.
And I'm gonna just in case conceal my blaster behind my belt.
Mm,
or
okay.
like behind my belt, in my belt. Anything.
That's
And
fine.
Yep, I don't think I have any wounds I need to recover.
I think that the only person that would still have any wounds would be Quigley, but I'm pretty sure that you've figured that out. I remember.
Yep, that's it. And now I'm just gonna jostle down with the kids.
Okay. All right. And is it, nothing you do Quigley?
You know, he would lock the ship up. But
okay.
other than that, no.
Good idea.
Yeah. We all leave doors open.
We're wide open. You wind up with like wild animals and like owls and.
I'm a
shit, man.
scientist. I do not do these cleaning things. It's a droid's job. So...
Oh wait, yeah, my droids. I guess I would actually leave the droids in the ship, kind of like working on.
Leave
stuff.
them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Or I would try to, I think, and then they wouldn't listen and would follow anyway. So yeah. All right. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. Your pit droids, you know,
Eventually pick them up and put them on my shoulders.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Droid pauldrons.
Yes. So just FYI, if anybody just saw that in my window, don't be concerned. My friends are here.
What the?
I just noticed my friend's face was in the window. It's like, if anybody's actually watching this, they're going to think I'm about to die. No, my friends are here. They're just being stupid, but I love them. Okay. So,
yay, friends!
Yay, friends! Today's a special day.
Climbing
I'm
through
going to
your
tell you what we're
window.
going to do after this.
Social distancing.
Just make sure you're 6 feet apart.
It's okay.
Wash your
They're
hands.
okay. They're okay. Yeah.
They're okay. Okay.
They're okay. We've been acclimated to one another because we before our. I'm not even gonna go into this.
Don't worry about it. That's all. That's all you had to say.
We live close together, so it's fine. Yes, social distancing. Anyway, the droids remain there until you take them back. Quigley. What was I gonna do? I lost everything now. You wanted to lock up the ship. Red, that's it. Red and is going to actually, Blondie, before we go down, or before they go down, he's going to kind of, you know, flag you and be like, you still have it, right?
Oh yes, I do. I do still have it. I have it. So, about that, I also should probably tell Quigley this, and maybe I said it in like a small note or like very stealthily let him know that I did not say anything about having a rebel in our group, so they don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
However, I would very much love for you to not mention that either. So, are we on the same page?
I'm absolutely. I
Just
appreciate
mumbles
you.
the word. Yep.
No, absolutely. I completely understand. And I appreciate you, especially for thinking about that and for taking that into consideration. Again, I would really implore and really would like to be able to get back the disc that you have. That is.
You know, about that, I think I might have put it back.
Quigley's gonna clap Red on the back and be like, seeing how easy it was to take it from you, how about we just hold on to it?
We could do that. Because I feel like we're a lot more of a secure group, kind of. You know, I feel like the most part we've accomplished getting you out and then bringing you to this planet and we're getting you food. So I think the conversation is almost there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it will give your people incentive to fucking pay us when we get you to where we're going.
Exactly. But we also need to figure out where is the nearest satellite here, because I don't believe this planet actually has any type of broadcasting system. Maybe Cookie might know. We could probably come up with like a makeshift little thing. I've done it before. I remember when who was it? Grandmama? Auntie? Our great grandmama? Someone, they taught me the thing.
There's a city over the crest of past their village, but of what I'm assuming is looks like there's a city further into the jungle.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
So maybe tomorrow or after this feast, we could leave the kids in school and go scope it out.
I do like this plan. Are you okay with that, Red?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if we can definitely get Cookie to come along with us, I'm sure his, or at least one of his little cute little droid friends to assist us. I believe only 3 would be sufficient, don't you think?
Possibly. Yeah, no, I think that is probably the most logical idea. I mean, it's going to take some time, obviously, for them to repair the ship, but if we can just get communication out, maybe we can get people here or, around.
Oh, no. That's the other thing. They were saying this has to remain anon. So is there a way they can probably meet us off-world or like on one of the moons? How many moons are on this planet again?
That is a good question. That's a good Star Wars trivia question. How many moons are around Rishi? I don't know.
I feel like there's at least 4.
We might be able to plan a meetup in the city somewhere, judging if we find a communication device worthy of being able to reach the Alliance. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch, or whatever Star Wars movie.
Whatever Star Wars.
Star chickens.
Look at all those chickens.
Count your tauntauns before they
Yeah. Red will kind of nod at this and just like, well, it'll just depend on who we can communicate, who listens to the signal.
Of course.
I mean, if we could at least just get to Nar Shaddaa or some system close to that. I think I have contacts there that might be able to, that would be able to get us to the Rebel Alliance. They're being chased across the galaxy as we speak right now. That's the issue, that we can't find any place to get secure long enough to make any more tactical stands. But you guys you don't need to listen to this.
Oh no, it's lovely. I love hearing the whole,
that we're escorting you to our certain doom.
Yeah, the notions of war, emotions of war. Anyway, are you hurt? Are you still okay? I feel like I forgot about you for a little bit.
No, I'm fine. Your friend did manage to get a really good hit on me, but that's neither here nor there.
That's Noah. He's got a really strong right hook, but I do know if you backhand him, he'll be okay. Anyway, keep going. Also, for science, everyone touch everybody's hands. Just let me know how it feels when you touch one of these natives' hands.
Oh, one of the. He's like looking over at Quigley, like, do I touch your hand? Is that what, are we touching hands? Oh no.
Quigley will move his hand to his blaster and be like, no. And he would also look to Bit and Jen and be like, touch no one.
Touch everyone! Let's go!
No one.
Touch everyone. All right, so you do whatever your guys are going to do. This conversation happens. We'll say about 3 hours pass. The sun is now setting over or behind the peaks of the mountains, so long shadows are being cast down, and the sky is turning from a deep orange yellow to a deepening purple blue. Night is coming, and with that, let me turn my page here. As this happens, the jungle kind of comes alive again. All of those morning and day sounds that you heard from the jungle switch. It's no longer all of the bird sounds that you hear, or not no longer the animals. It becomes about the insects. It becomes about the reptiles and the amphibians that are calling out, and the ambient night sounds. Along with that, as the sun continues to set and it gets darker, little glowing fauna, including moss and mushrooms, kind of start to peek out. And it gives like the footpaths around down to the village a little bit of a light. So as you make your way down into the village, you are able to see the hall meeting, or the meeting hall, where Belandi and Noah had met with Kaiza. This is where the dinner will take place. So do you guys go directly there? Do you guys talk to anyone, meander about?
Quigley's looking around, I guess, like, as a habit of just his profession and like looking for escapes, like easy, like sniping spots and things like that.
Give me a perception roll.
Looking for the high ground.
Yeah, exactly.
I
the
have
high
it.
ground.
I have the high ground, so I already took it.
+1 high ground.
Step off my high ground.
It's going to be 2 purple die, Daniel.
Okay.
Also, guys, if you haven't already, you should totally subscribe to the channel.
Oh, yes. Plug us. Thank you, Jasmine. I love you.
Yeah, I'm learning new stuff from this new channel I'm on.
Yeah.
We play lots of indie.
One success.
Okay.
Threat.
1 success and 1 threat.
2 threat.
Oh, ooh, 2 threat. Girl. Okay.
I'm very obviously doing this shit.
Girl. All right. So you see kind of what Belandi and Noah saw as they went down into the village. You have one large meeting house at the end. There are some small houses kind of circling around it, but you do notice there are other houses kind of peeked in and pocketed amongst the fauna and the jungle itself. So all the houses are not in one area. It's a little bit spread out, but this is definitely the meeting point for everybody. You see the silhouettes of adult and child Zeltrons kind of making their way into the hut, or the meeting hall, moving in and out, and they're carrying things, and it looks like that they are preparing for this dinner. You do see the building that Noah was shown up on the hill that has a little bit of the high ground. I don't know where Noah is, if he is there. Maybe you can see him, maybe you can't. It's getting dark, so it's a little bit harder to see individual people. But as you continue down, the smells start to hit you. You can start to smell the roasted fruit and the roasted vegetables, and of course the roasted meat prepared by wonderful Cookie. So, Belandi, is there anything you wanted to do as you enter the town again?
I'm gonna make sure that my little headdress is okay. I haven't lost any of my little trinkets or anything. And I think she's also gonna look around too, just in case there's some new faces she hasn't recognized from when they first went in.
Sure. Give me a perception roll. 2 purple as well.
2 purple, and then perception. That is 2 green. 2. Cool. I got 1 threat.
1 threat. Okay. So you see a lot of the same thing. It's getting dark, so it's a little bit harder to pick out the individual Zeltrons that you had encountered. You do see the at least one of the ones that had kind of gone up to first encounter you, the one that is whose arm is now in a sling, that you helped because of the incident with Noah earlier. But like I said, you don't really quite see get the facial features of too many others as you move towards the large meeting hall. Noah,
What up?
what are you doing? What's happening with you? You've had a couple hours now to kind of be in the schoolhouse, and do whatever you want there. So knowing that you are expected at this dinner. So what are you doing?
Yeah, I come down early and I bring a couple of folders and I'm working on my lesson plan. Kind of
Cookie,
back in the swing of things.
you would see him.
Okay.
You would see Noah doing this. Are you just in the meeting hall, or are you like outside of it?
Outside of it, I'm kind of enjoying the nice air.
There's some kids. There are some kids. There are some.
Kids.
Oh no!
There's about 4 kids that were kind of playing amongst the trees near one of the houses. That when they see you, they kind of run over to you and kind of like, hey, what do you have?
Hey, my name is Noah.
Noah.
And hopefully I'm going to be your teacher, so I'm actually preparing some lesson plans and stuff like that.
Oh man, you're going to be our new teacher? What do you know? Where have you been? Have you seen
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, why how did you get here? Why are you here?
Ship.
Can I look at that? And they're going to like point at your whatever you're working on, your folders and your can I see that? Can I touch it?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
You're gonna take it and look at it. These kids don't have not really seen much of the technology or of what we would consider Star Wars world. They're living on a jungle planet. This is possibly their first in time encountering actual folios and that type of stuff.
yeah.
But they're going to take a look at it, and they're gonna point to the crayon or the markers they have. Can we look at those? Can we play with those?
I mean, they're really not. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You'll be able to play with this during the lessons as we grow and educate each other through
You're
life.
not gonna die, are you? Our last teacher died. We don't want you to die.
Okay, why do you gotta say that? Because
we just don't want you to die. All right, we're gonna go now. Bye.
Why'd you just like leave me?
See you later.
Okay.
Wookie is laughing over in the doorway, kind of leaning there, like drinking something.
Yeah.
I'm like looking around.
And Cookie, for clarity, what you were here during this as well. This is something that you were familiar with, that you encountered as well. And what the Zeltron had told Noah is what they know. That's that they had a teacher much like this where they came in and took over.
Were they lost while Cookie was there, or is this like before Cookie showed up?
We'll say it was. We'll say that it happened around the same time, but it was not as their attempts to find them once they were lost for kind of a certain amount of time, it seemed like the entire group of Zeltrons knew that they were gone, that they were lost to the jungle, that is just something that happens in the jungle. So any attempts from you to try and go kind of see would have been like, oh, don't worry about it so much. These things happen.
Yeah, and growing up on Kashyyyk, Cookie definitely would understand that. The forest floor, the Shadowlands are kind of a rite of passage for Wookiee warriors, and it's like you just don't go into the jungle unless you are ready to not come out. So.
Yes, and that's very much the same mantra that they have for this.
Would have kind of gotten a shrug from Cookie, and then back to whatever it was they were doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, and that is what is known in this village. The jungle is a dangerous place. Lots of animals and creatures. So
and Wookiees.
And Wookiees now, yeah. So, Noah, it is not long before you see Quigley, Belandi, Bit, and Jen appearing and making their way towards the hall as well.
Yeah, I'll put my stuff up and approach them. Like, hey guys, how's it going?
What up, meat sack?
Oh, you're still awake. But Never mind. Anyway.
Okay. Y'all ready to eat, man?
Quigley's gonna lean over and look at your stomach like it looks like you've already eaten everything.
You bitch.
It's the quarantine 15. Leave me alone.
I enjoy food, okay? I don't live in a ship.
Well, that's gonna change. Anyway, let's go.
Wait, why is it gonna change? I'm living here. Like, what?
Oh, you're staying behind?
Are you
Wait.
going with the rebel?
Did you not tell him?
Hey, Red, where are you going? Let's go grab some food.
Oh, this is so...
Just
Whoa, hold on. What's going on? Red, get your ass back over here.
Like,
What's
watching
going?
all
What are
of
we
this,
doing?
Laughing.
Yeah.
So Quigley is gonna look at Noah on their way to the feast hall and just kind of like, you do realize we're not staying here for long. Like, you can stay by all means. Like, you're not kidnapped by us, but we do intend to keep moving.
Why?
Because we're fugitives, Noah.
This sounds like a good place to hide out if we're fugitives.
I'm not gonna bring the wrath of the Empire down on all these innocent people.
Wherever you go, you're gonna bring the wrath of the Empire. Just,
Yeah,
you know,
so
lay low.
Minimize time and places and keep moving.
Oh, God, you can't raise a kid like that. They're gonna be, like, all disjointed by the time they grow old. A kid needs to establish a home.
How do you think she's survived the last 4 years?
I'm very curious about her mental health and whether she has seen enough therapeutic individuals to grow up as a healthy adult.
She's probably healthier than any of us.
I don't know, I'm pretty healthy. I have a... Yep.
Yeah, the way you broke that guy's arm earlier, super healthy.
I have boundaries, and I'd like those boundaries to be respected. That's it.
I agree 110%.
I know,
Now,
right?
I mean, but we're gonna go check the city out that's near here tomorrow. So I mean,
There's
you
a
can
city
come.
near here?
Yeah, remember when we opened the door to the ship, I scoped it out and it's across the ridge. Or did I not tell anybody that?
Isn't that where we're at right now? Like, this...
No, we're at a village.
What's the difference between a city and a village to you?
Well, you're a teacher. You should be able to tell us that.
Village.
Hey, Red, have this food.
Red has kind of, kept walking. He's just kind of not, doesn't want to deal with all. He's gonna just head towards the meeting hall.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go towards Cookie.
Quigley,
Like, Cookie, food.
Quigley will very much say, also, I'm now getting paid, so don't touch Red anymore.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Oh yeah,
Is that an option?
it was now.
Hey, Red! Red!
Red has he has gone into the meeting hall.
Yeah, I'm
And-
chasing after him.
Okay.
And
He's gonna
just
like
praising
cringe, like what?
Cookie and-
What?
Red, you paying people now?
I'm
You trying to cut me out?
Red is like I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
You
Noah?
paying Quigley Figley. So
Does Quigley hear that?
what how much we talking about? And
I
what's-
didn't say that I was paying them. I said that the Rebel Alliance
Hey,
always
well, I don't care if you're on your knees and that's how you're getting the money. I just need to know that the money will come eventually, yeah?
as I told Quigley, I am not paying. The Rebel Alliance always
Quigley's
makes
gonna come in, and when he starts to say rebel, he's gonna smack him in the back of the head, and he's like,
Yeah.
"How about we just say friends?" Because saying that name too rashly might get everybody in trouble when we don't need to be. Right? So we'll keep it on the hush hush. Our friends are going to pay us once we get our Red here to them. So no more striking him in the face. No more giving him a hard time. We're going to hold on to what we took from him by force earlier. and
Okay.
we will use that as our bargaining chip later.
How much is your friends gonna pay us?
I don't know.
We'll figure that out later, Noah.
That sounds like
You're
bad
either
business.
you're either gonna come along and find out, or you're gonna stay in this village and teach some kids till you're eaten by a turtle ape.
Look,
Picture it
I'm
as
not an
ritual
idiot.
sacrifice.
I'm not going out into the forest.
It's a warrior thing.
So-
It's ritual.
At this point, you are all at the meeting hall. So there is a lot of activity, and what Red was talking about after Quigley smacked his back. Nobody was really paying attention to that. There was enough commotion that nobody quite overheard it. We have James Part 2.
Oh.
We have multiple James.
Multiple James. Oh, tech issues. So I'll let this kind of figure it out. As you guys come into the meeting hall, you'll see that there's a long table in the center. There's various types of food, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lots of roasted meat that, of course, Cookie prepared. There are no chairs though. It is cushions and seats around it, but it's supposed to be very communal. There are multiple Zeltrons sitting on the same cushion. It's families are kind of grouped together, but this is like the real sense of almost like a Thanksgiving of family, of community within that room. So as the rest of the Zeltron people kind of start to mingle in and get seated, you'll notice that they'll kind of usher you to come in and take a seat. And is there anything else that you guys want to do before you sit down for food?
No, I would just make sure that I have the kids within arm's reach.
James, did you say something?
I said no. I said
Okay.
nothing. I would be like ready to eat and kind of tearing into it with gusto.
Yeah, I
Yes.
will chink my glasses, ting ting ching, and stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dig in, just want to say from the bottom wellspring of my heart, thank you for welcoming this group to your humble home and village. And you know what? I'm excited to be your teacher. And I am excited to get to know each and every one of your kids as well as your adults. As an aside, my name is Noah. I have 2 teaching degrees. This is What? Do we got questions? Questions?
No. Why don't you give me a charm test, Mitchell?
I don't wanna.
Do it. Do it.
What's the difficulty?
2 purple.
1 advantage.
1 advantage. Okay. So, as you do this, the room does go silent, and eyes, fall upon you, and they listen to you. Some are even nodding, like, okay, all right. But towards the end, somebody will kind of, kind of whisper, Kaisa's here. You can sit down. Sit. Just sit real quick. And Kaisa, the village elder and matriarch, would appear at the front from the stairs that led up into her domicile, which you were in before at the 2nd level. So now she's come down and she is here, and kind of everyone falls silent. This is a revered person for them. So the ambiance is kind of all drawn towards her. Everybody's watching her, and it seems as if she's expected to kind of speak. So she does move to the front of the table and kind of look around and look towards Cookie and look towards Blondie, Jen, and Bit, and to Quigley and to Noah, And she'll give Noah a little smile. Um, and then she'll speak. A long time ago, when the mountains and the sea were young, and the winds blew from the south, a great battle took place here. The elders of Rishi describe that it was a great shadow, and it descended along all the valleys, taking and pillaging all the life on this planet. Its veins, its heart, and everything became shrouded in shadow. Rishi shamans said 1,000 prayers, and the wind carried those prayers to wash away the red infection. The prayers, I missed a piece. Do you think that the prayers that were carried from the wind were heard by the gods? And she'll look to Bit and Jen first. And Bit and Jen would kind of just look at amongst each other and kind of nod yes. And she'll smile and look at Noah and say, do you think the prayers were heard?
Red infection, is this still prevalent? And in what general area was the soreness and reddening occurring? Okay, that's what I was fearing. Okay. Thank you, Cookie. Just continue.
And she'll look to Blondie. Do you think that the prayers were heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I'm an atheist, so I don't really believe that prayers do anything except for create
No, I'm quiet. This is
form
ceremony.
of cathartic feeling for those who believe in it. But I respect your beliefs.
Just gonna stop them and
And you, looking over to Quigley, do you believe the prayers were heard?
Sure, if that's what we're telling people.
And she'll take a moment and kind of smile and say, the great Rishi elders say that it took 1,000 nights for them to be heard. But they were heard. For the ways of breath and wind cannot be predicted, and 1,000 prayers were carried to the heavens. And they say that the ghosts and spirits of the forest were awoken and helped the Rishi and the friends of Rishi to combat this darkness, and the blight was extinguished from the lands. The wind still carries messages, and to the spirits of the forest, all friends are welcome here. We welcome you, new friends. Yes, looking to towards Noah.
What is the darkness metaphor for? What is that in actuality?
Perhaps it is for you to decide, my dear friends.
Oh, that's kind of
Please eat, please dine with us, and be merry tonight. For there is
for tomorrow we what?
For there is much darkness in this galaxy.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of space, right?
Sit down, thanks. Thanks, Noah. No, I was kidding.
It's not.
And she'll sit down, and that's when everybody begins to eat.
Wookie laughs at that one, actually.
Yes.
I get it.
So the hall will kind of like ease up, and there's laughter again, and there's conversation, and Kaiza will kind of lean over to somebody else, another Zeltron, and kind of speak and all of that. So you guys are eating. Conversation has abound. And Kaiza is sitting there kind of next to you guys, kind of like there with at least within earshot, so you can have a conversation. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? You guys want to ask? Anything like that?
Cookie! So for these dessert snacks, is that made with natural herbs or is that part of your hair that I'm chewing on? Either way, it's delicious.
Fiber.
Exactly! As Cookie's eating, she's like taking diameter measurements of his bite.
Cookie is having seems to be having a really good time laughing, kind of leaning into the jokes a bit. Definitely putting up with your ministrations good naturedly.
Mhm. Bit and Jen are very much into to Cookie and kind of watching and laughing and being very entertained by their.
And the bots are like down and like running around and playing
Oh man.
kind of
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of poked my head over. Hey, Jen, how many problem sets did you finish?
9,000 is what she'll say.
That's not right. I'm gonna look it over. Okay, and if it's wrong, it's going in my report. So.
Okay. Okay.
Quickly, pat her on the back and just like, it's okay.
Jen seems way more interested in the things that are happening around her.
Do you want me to eat him?
She'll laugh. Can you really eat him?
No cannibalism right now.
Try.
And, well, he is an omnivore, so it would only take 1 or 2 bites.
We're not the same species. It doesn't count as cannibalism.
Everyone's food, and then she continues eating.
Times is tough in the galaxy, y'all. Some people.
All made of meat.
Noah, is there anything you wanted to
Didn't I
ask?
call you meat soup or meat bag earlier?
I did.
Miss.
Like poking and prodding you, like kind of testing like for fat and seeing how tender your meat is. It tickles a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty tender.
Starts
I'm
sniffing at
surprised
you
you
a
let
little
him
bit.
do it.
This is weird. I've decided that I would like to accept the position
Excellent.
of teacher. The only thing is I have something to do real quick. I'm going to get some money, but I'm going to bring it back. I'm down a lot of teaching supplies, and I know I'm not really up to date on the current curriculum standard in the galaxy, but I'm going to be bringing that back too.
I see. Okay. Well, you're more than allowed to come and go as you please, but again, we do ask that you do not tell anyone that we are here.
Yeah, I mean, that works for me because I don't want anyone else to take my spot. So.
And, I have to admit that the spot is not usually it doesn't get filled very often. But as long as you take the proper precautions not to be followed back here, you're more than welcome to come back. Do you know how long you would be away?
I look over to Red. Got like a ballpark, man?
No.
It could be anywhere from 6 months to.
Let's say, worst case, 3 weeks, because I'm not gonna be in space with these fuckers longer than that.
she'll kind of be like, okay. Okay, well, we would certainly like to see you back here after, of course, that your ship is repaired and that you're able to leave.
Yeah, and if I don't want to be too pressing, but I feel like there's something happening here. And if you're not doing anything later tonight, maybe we could.
Can I throw a fruit at Noah right now?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Out,
make a ranged attack. No, I'm not going to make you do a ranged
check
attack.
out the stars.
Yes, what does it look like?
Stealth move?
If you get hit by a watermelon.
Yeah, no, he picks up the spikiest looking fruit and kind of like tosses it, and then just like, and all like middle of his. If you're not doing anything like later tonight, just.
she'll see that. Oh,
looks like someone else would like to ask you too.
I appreciate all and any offers, but I do have to. Yes, Cookie. Any and all offers. Cookie has been a great asset to us here, and we as the community and me especially, we have been we are in Cookie's debt for what they have done to assist us with our with our agricultural.
Wait, what does Cookie have to do with anything that I was just talking about?
Because Cookie just
Oh
said
my god.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just seemed like a jump, and I'm kind of nervous and kind of waiting on the answer. It sounds like a no, but
what I was going to say is that, as I have described to many other travelers here before, my concern and my heart belong to this community and to nothing else.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
this is
at that, she'll
awkward.
kind of smile and kind of nod and
Poke my fruit.
to that.
And Belani's just gonna go right behind him and like very creeper-like in his ear. You know, if you want a relationship, you have to touch someone, right? And then she's gonna slink away and then go to like the biggest punch bowl in the room and continue just drinking her.
Sure, I could avoid it or get like protection or something.
My
Maybe
God.
No such thing!
What do amplified Wookiee emotions look like? Oh God. Okay, sorry. That's all right.
This is
Character development. Woo!
this is great. I love it.
Yeah.
The Wookiee can't touch anybody, or everybody's gonna die.
So
Emotions.
yeah, you are allowed to mingle with whomever you want here. Is there any questions that you would want to ask to anybody here, or is there any?
I would like to ask whatever her name is,
We're
Kaiser Roll.
It's
Kaiser roll,
Kaiser.
Kaiser, yeah, Kaiser.
Kaiser.
I would
Oh,
like
shit.
to ask her if she knows about how long of a trek it is to get to the city from here.
Oh, you must mean the settlement, the Rishian settlement. So I'll give you a little bit of background. We are, of course, are not native to Rishi. The native Rishians, who my story come from, they do live towards the top of the mountains. We have a pulley system that can get you about halfway. We were trying to have we were trying to find parts to fix the rest of it, but it just hasn't happened. And Cookie has, greatly assisted with this as well. But it'll take about a solid, I don't know, using the lift, about a day to get up there. It's a hard trek. We don't go up there except only to trade. Is there anything you were looking for? Is there any reason why you were going up there?
Well, obviously we're not trying to, or me and the children and my other companions aside from Noah aren't planning on staying very long. So looking for parts to fix the ship, trying to reach our other companions and, just plan our next move when getting back on our journey.
Well, they do have they would have the communication strength to send a signal or to send messages out. We of course are kind of in a bad spot. No communication really comes in or out between these two mountains, and they are at the top, so they have the best chance of getting any sort of message out. You're welcome to try and get up there. We haven't had much communication with them in the past several months. What trade that we did have has been stopped. We have a feeling it's the trade routes that have been impacted by the Empire. Of course, being at the end of a large trading route, it's kind of surprising. But you're more than welcome to make the trek up there.
All right, I appreciate the information. Quigley will, I guess, he'll stand up and he'll where are our quarters for the night?
Oh yes. She'll kind of motion over to the Zeltron whose arm is in the sling, Marza. He'll kind of like stand up and I can show you to where we have the guest lodges.
All right, and Quigley will lean over it a bit and pretty much tell her not to stay up too much longer. They have an early day tomorrow, and he'll head on off with Marza.
Okay. and Marza will lead you out of the hall. So Bit and Jen will remain there, kind of hanging around Cookie. Yeah. They're obviously getting pretty tired though, so they will not be awake for too much longer. And before of course Marza leaves, he'll kind of look to the rest of the group, be like, you of course Cookie, you kind of have your own it's around the same area that you would be living in as well, whatever kind of guest
I
house
wound
they
up in
gave
the
you.
guest quarters too, and just never left.
Yeah. But they'll look to Belandi and be like, you would be, staying there or on the ship, wherever you want.
Oh no, I'll stay with the group. You know, extra blankets. I'm not a very good sleeper.
Well, the sounds of the jungle should put you in a relaxed state. So we find a lot of people that come here find themselves very relaxed here and enjoy the ambiance of the forest.
Oh, do you have a place where there's like a kind of meditation room? Or they would call it like a silent room, maybe?
Well, we don't have any rooms per se, but
Or spaces, that'd be great.
The children, the children of the village have kind of an area of the jungle that they play in, and then it's close enough that it's not too dangerous that they parents can kind of let them go there. But perhaps there somewhere. We find that being tied to this land and being tied to this jungle has really just brought us a sense of peace. So you find that too.
Okay, well, I would definitely like to take a moment to meditate before bed.
Oh, absolutely, please. Yeah. So, you'll be able to, find the same lodging whenever you see fit. Are you going into the jungle, or are you kind of just staying around the village?
I'm gonna stay around the village because jungle is danger at night. So
Teachers get eaten.
right.
So I'm actually going to give you a roll. Let me think about this for a second.
Before I do that, I want to go talk to Red.
Okay.
Uh,
Red is there.
And then I'm gonna finish the last of whatever weird fruit thing is in my face, and then just ask him. So, Red, I have had a question for the longest time since the first time we met.
Okay.
How familiar are you with the force practices of these people that are on your team, as it were?
Do you mean the team I was with for the Rebel Alliance?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that loud, but yeah.
You'll say it softly. Alex is a loud person. Sorry.
I was trying to be
being
covert, so this is why the conversation. Bring it down.
Rebel Alliance. No, he would have said it softly. Alex doesn't. So
okay. So as she's talking to him about it, she's not super nervous about it, but at the same time, she's very curious as she says this. I've been having these very odd dreams since we've met, and I wonder if you'll come with me when I go to meditate, because I think it might manifest itself then.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't believe any of that stuff.
We're also gonna need Marza too, just to see. I'm curious to see what would happen if I did something. But again, I would love your input if you know anything else about the whole spooky people with the magic hands.
Spooky people with magic hands. That's what all Jedi should be called. Spooky people with the magic hands.
I mean, if you've never met a Jedi, that is like the creepiest thing you have ever seen in your life, right? Like they just like all of a sudden they're levitating shit, and it's like
it's not about lifting rocks, kid. It is about.
It's like, how are you doing that devil magic?
Devil magic. Truth. That is Jedi truth right there. Satan. So he'll kind of nod and be like, yeah, of course. I don't believe in it. I just think that they're all old fairy tales.
I'm also very kind of along the same level as you, but at this time, I'm very curious to find out what would happen if I did tap into this force thing.
Like, I mean, of course, I'll certainly help. I whatever you feel like you need to do. I mean, the only things that I have heard, and I mean, there's just rumors. They're just it's all fairy tale stuff that
Oh yay, more science. Oh, this will
It's
be fun.
true.
Just
All
make
of
sure we
it.
notify Marza though.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Noah, are you heading back to your school?
Yep.
Okay.
Make my way downtown.
It's Cookie. Is there anything you wanted to do? So, after some time, Bit and Jen start to fall asleep.
So I feel like Cookie is kind of definitely developing kind of a protective kind of attitude towards the Munchkins. So would kind of start as they start to fall asleep, would kind of like cuddle them, like bundle them up and kind of start picking them up and just carry them in the direction of the lodgings.
Yeah. So that's fine. And they'll remain asleep. They're definitely are very tired kids. So being nestled into your warm hairy arms is
Sure.
very nice.
Very warm, very snuggly.
Yes.
Big Care Bear.
Do you take your droids with you?
Yeah, they kind of tag along behind. They're kind of like a brother and sister would like pick at each other after a long day. Like the more active kind of scatterbrained one is kind of like annoying the other one, and then they wind up like, you know, tackled off to the side of the path, and you know, then eventually catch up. But
yeah. Well, that's cute. They would do that. The Red will after once everybody else kind of leaves, Red and will kind of ask Belandi, are you ready to go? We can try and find Marza if you'd like.
Yes, we can just grab him on the way.
Okay, so he'll get up and you'll start to walk. Marza will have of course shown Quigley to the guest house and kind of milled about a little bit, returning back and back to the hall. So Red will move over to him and kind of talk to him, be like, yeah, my friend wants to find a quiet place to meditate, and we would really appreciate it, since you're from here, if you could just kind of give us an eye if you know any places. And he'll kind of, he's like, okay, I kind of don't really know any place, but I'm more than willing to show you around. So he'll kind of over to you. I think I know of a place, maybe by up near where the schoolhouse is, actually.
That's perfect. And just follow him where he's going.
All right. So it is night now. It is well into midnight, 1 o'clock. It's late, because dinner takes forever. And there is just much conversation. So it's very dark. Everybody has returned to their houses or is returning to them. There is a pathway that leads up towards the schoolhouse, but it also keeps going past the schoolhouse. This is kind of the further reaches of their village. So he's kind of taking you back there, and he's kind of just talking very quiet. Marza is talking kind of quietly. You don't want to stay out here too late. There's just you're very safe here. That we've never had anything come into the village or anything, but just be aware that there are things in the jungle. Right over here, actually, if this probably will be the best spot, and he'll take you to a little ridge, a little clearing. There's a clearing of the trees, so you're able to see out over the bottom and basin of these two mountains. So you see a little bit of water trickling between, where there's a stream below, like a small river below. But it's a very good vantage point and very beautiful, and you see the tops of trees and the glowing fauna scattered about between the leaves and the branches.
Okay. And Melandi's just gonna take the scene in and close her eyes for a moment, and then she's gonna just be quiet for a moment and just listen and feel everything around her, and then she's gonna reach out to Mars's arm, placing both palms on it, and use force healing to fix his arm.
Okay. So yeah, so as Belandi is calling out to the force, maybe she doesn't even know quite what she's calling out to, something is responding. Something is whispering back to her. And as soon as she kind of hears it, it's like she's tuned into something so much bigger than her, and she feels it. You feel as if, 1,000 voices can be heard within your mind, and it's not overbearing, it's not scary, it's there, it's comforting, it's like having family there. It's warmth, and as you extend your hand towards Marza, he kind of is, actually like, oh God.
I'm being touched. Oh,
I'm being touched again. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to.
The last time this happened, it didn't
She
end
does
well.
it like a very like gentle, like one hand on top, one hand on the bottom of like right where the break was, and then just her hands start to glow, and it just gets warmer and brighter.
Just rips his arm out. No. Okay. Yes, that and as as it begins to glow, he would feel kind of like a warming sensation, and it startles him. He's like, "Oh, what? But he can't get anything out. He can't get anything articulate out.
And Belani's just gonna shh, quiet.
You're fine.
I've got to concentrate. You're gonna mess it up.
break your arm.
So after a minute or so of you, when you're doing this, you not only feel this warming sensation, but you feel his warm, like his life. You feel the life beneath your fingertips on his arm. Like you sense it. You sense the life force of him, and you feel it mending where the break is in his arm. And as the light begins to die from your hands, he kind of, starts to move his own arm, and it becomes evident that, it's healed, or it's much better than what it had been. But both Red and Mars are very quiet, and they're kind of staring at you.
So I'm gonna bring my hands back together and just still take another moment to breathe in, to breathe out, the big yogi. And then she's gonna open her eyes and be like, "Well, that was fun. Good night." And then just
Marza and Red will not know what else to do but to stand there and just stare as you go walking off.
Yep. She's just like, "That was good. I'm surprised that worked. I'm not gonna do that ever again. Maybe when it's necessary to say."
And there she goes.
So do you return to the guest house where everybody else?
Yeah, I go back to the guest house. I got like this big grin on my face, and
Okay.
I'm tired. How are you?
So yes, Red will come in at some point afterwards, but he's not, he goes right to bed. He doesn't talk to anybody. And that is the night for the dinner. So was there anything else anybody wanted to do tonight in game?
No, I would say that Cookie would probably just deposit the children with Quigley, because he knows that Noah isn't trustworthy. Yeah. So would deposit the children with Quigley, and then off to their own quarters, which is I think everybody would be able to see is kind of half living space and half like workshop. It's kind of like spilling out into the yard with the bits and pieces of like devices that haven't quite been put together yet and whatnot. So.
Okay. So now we're going to kind of go into a little bit of a fast forward, because we have some stuff that we need to account for, such as Cookie's repairs. But I'm going to allow you guys to kind of give a broad overview of what your characters would be doing. So we're going to consider this about a week a time. So I'll start first with Quigley, since I think you wanted to try and get up to the top of the mountain, correct?
That is true.
Okay.
Mountain man. Well, hello there.
Well, so I would take Red with me.
Okay.
Anybody else that wanted to come with?
I'll come.
There you go.
Okay.
Cookie actually wants to go to requisition parts for the ship.
Okay, that's fine.
So we
I don't
would.
trust anybody else to get the right parts.
I'll assist, because at least I kind of know where things are.
Yeah.
I'm messing with I'm largely the reason why it was busted in the first
The
place.
whole party.
Excellent.
But
Okay.
I got us here in one piece, so
Yeah, it works.
ungrateful wretches. Anyway, so
It's all the damn faulty
So-
trigger mechanism.
right. So I assist Cookie with whatever he needs help with, to the best of my doctor knowledge.
But yeah, make your way up to the outpost, I guess you would call it. What
Yeah.
you call
So first, I'm going to get you. Since you can decide who wants to do this role, there's going to be a mechanics role.
it? That's Cookie.
Yeah. To work this pulley system. So this is an old pulley system that looks like it's kind of been around for a while, but they've kept it maintained. There is a point though where it stops, and Cookie, you know about this. They just don't have the parts. They haven't encountered anything, and they tried to actually place orders for things, but it's not going anywhere right now.
And you could probably see like evidence that Cookie has tried to kind of jerk rig this at some point in time, and it just hasn't worked and hasn't worked and hasn't worked. So this is kind of a thorn in their side.
Yeah. They don't go up here too often, so it hasn't been too much of an issue, but it's something on the list of many things to do around this village.
Yeah.
So give me a mechanics roll. 2 purple, 1 black, 1 red.
So since I'm helping,
Yes,
does that
yes.
give a help die?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And what is that? Is that a blue?
That's gonna be a blue.
Is it
Okay,
blue?
so I can also remove 1 purple for my mechanics.
Okay, cool.
Rolling. That's gonna be 3 successes and 2 threats.
Excellent. Okay. So you're able to get, you've seen this thing, you know how it works. You're able to just, like, I know to push this lever, I know not to go too fast, I know when to brake because
Doesn't
I know
mean
when.
it's not dangerous. It's just I got it.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like
fine.
a ski lift. It's kind of like,
Trust me.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna touch the wire and be like, I think that does that. Is that supposed to do that? Okay. Well, there's more of them all in this area.
So everybody give me a perception roll.
Perception roll.
It's gonna be 2 purple.
Never.
Do it.
Wow, that balances out, I guess.
4 advantage.
4 advantages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 successes and 2 threats.
Okay.
2 advantage, 1 failure.
I
Okay.
need a rancor.
And what'd you get, Jasmine?
I got 2 successes and 2 threats.
Okay. So Cookie, you're kind of you're concentrating more on this gear mechanism. You want to make sure that you're not you're sending all of us flying off. Not that you have this. You just are very in tune to what's going on, and you're trying to make sure that all the cables seem like they're going. Yeah. And you kind of you've seen this before, so it's not as you're not as paying attention to all this. But for you other guys, this is your first time going up here. The further up you go, the more of the jungle you're able to see. And you're able to see just kind of how nestled in these Zeltrons are. And once you're to a certain point above like the canopy, as you keep going, that village really kind of gets hidden. And this is why it's been able to be off of a lot of maps and off of a lot of radars for a lot of people. This thing just kind of is over encompassed by this jungle. So as you continue to rise up, the jungle begins to thin out a little bit. There's still mist kind of flowing over the tops of the mountains and going down, and it's very humid. But the vegetation begins to die off a little bit as the more rocky, craggy aspects of the mountain begin to take form. At a certain point, the Cookie will know when to stop this lift, and they'll do it. They'll flip this little large switch, and the whole thing will kind of just stop. And you'll see up ahead that if it had kept going, there's a fray in one of the lines, and it would just have been a bad news. So be glad that you had Cookie, because that would have been a thing.
Sure, we're fine.
I'm helping.
You are. So as you reach this platform, this is kind of a makeshift platform. It was obviously built very quickly to kind of encompass or to deal with the fact that this thing broke kind of halfway up. So give me, everybody, we're going to do a coordination. Is that one? Yeah, coordination roll.
Oh God.
Because the platform is kind of jutting out a little bit to meet the platform that you rode up on, it's all rather high. You're up pretty high.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be 2 purple, 1 black.
Ooh,
We'll leave it at that.
how dare you?
Don't tell me what to
3 successes, 1 advantage.
do. Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 successes, 2 advantage.
Okay.
2 threat.
2 threat. Okay.
And I got 2 advantages.
Okay, cool. So as you guys start to walk off onto this platform, it creaks. You hear it. It kind of shudders a little bit. And you all become very much aware that you are up high. And as Cookie steps onto the platform, it really groans because of the weight of a Wookiee. So the platform will kind of hook into the mountain a little bit, like it's obviously set against the mountain, but there are narrow stairways that appear to kind of go up the rest of it. It's very zigzaggy. We're thinking of the stairs like from Lord of the Rings when they're going from Dol Guldur, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. So those really high stairs. But they have railings. It's a little bit more sturdy than that. So give me an do we have athletics? Yeah. No. We're doing coordination one more time because we got to make it up that. And up at the top, you do see the tops of buildings or the top of something. It's certainly not what you would consider a city, but it does appear to be multiple structures kind of all conjoined and together, but you still haven't seen anything or anyone. So give me another coordination roll, and this time it's going to be 2 purple, 1 black, 1 red.
Oh no!
We're all gonna die.
I got 1 threat.
Ooh.
Ooh.
4 successes, 3 threats.
I give my threat to him and I take one of his successes.
That is
No.
no.
Quigley pushes you.
What? I'm a teacher,
No,
darn it.
shut down. I wouldn't kill Noah. He's the one I would trip when I'm running away.
What'd you
You're
get,
not allowed to
Jasmine?
kill. Yeah, that would
I
get
got a wash.
Okay. And what'd you get, James?
I got 3 successes and 2 threats.
Okay. So this is a long hike. This is they told you kind of before you left, pack water, pack some snacks. You're gonna be climbing. These are stairs. Have you ever climbed, like 30 flights of stairs? Yeah. It hurts. It burns. So that is what you guys are doing, and you're gonna be doing it for the majority of your afternoon. So as you get up there, I wish I did not save a copy of what you encounter, but everybody give me a perception check as you start to reach the top of these long staircases that are going up.
Okay, difficulty.
2 purple.
Okay. Hey. Oh, wait. No, stop it. Whatever you are.
One advantage.
1 success.
I failed.
2 success, 2 threats.
Okay. Sorry, I had to talk to a friend. So you as you get further up, those of you who succeeded or have at least 1 success in your perception, you're noticing that a lot of these, as you're getting further up, these buildings, they are built into the mountain. They're using the same stone. It's carved out. But there's also a lot of kind of leaves that might have been brought up from below the jungle that have been used to construct not only roofing but like other things, other um, uh, elements of these buildings. But these buildings all have open, long open windows. Lots of places for aeration, like there's a lot of open spaces here, and it all looks almost eerily abandoned. There's nothing really moving yet. Cookie,
Hello?
Can I draw my weapon?
absolutely, you can absolutely draw your
I'd
weapon.
like to draw my bowcaster.
Okay. Because what is a Wookiee without a bowcaster? I love Wookiees and bowcasters. Okay, Cookie, you know this. You know, having talked to about this. This is a village of Rishi. The Rishi are avian. They are bird humanoid-like creatures, and I wish I had a picture saved, but I did not. But they live at the top of these mountains. And they are proficient very much in aerial transportation and that type of stuff. These Rishi that live here have kind of been in their own sort of way left here by the majority of the other Rishians. This is just far out there for a lot of things and a lot of people. But they're
banjos.
yeah, kind of banjos.
Okay.
Kind of banjos.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm out.
But the last time you heard, there were definitely still Rishi up here. It's not like that that it's been really abandoned. But
is this someplace that I would have been maybe once or twice before?
yes, you
Generally-
probably have been here at least once before, because this is
Like
where
a
you would
connection for parts, basically.
yes, exactly. And you know that one of the buildings is kind of like the not a shop, but that's where a lot of the trading happened between the Rishi and the Zeltrons, or where they would get drop-offs from whatever.
So is this silence is kind of unusual?
It is. It's kind of
Okay.
unusual.
Definitely like keeping an eye out for stuff and kind of yeah, kind of hanging back towards the back of the group, keeping everybody like in front of me where I can keep an eye on everybody.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything?
Quigley would immediately pull out his weapon as well,
Okay.
and just kind of like scan around the area.
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
I would it's too quiet.
Oh, then I'm hiding.
I'm gonna pull out my blaster.
Pull out your blaster.
And I pull out my my pen.
You know, we really have to get you a weapon.
Stylus.
Yeah, we
Continue.
really got it.
Well, maybe somebody should say, "Hey, man, we might be in trouble."
Are you good with hand to hand?
I'm all right. I'm a teacher. I've
Teachers should
myself.
know how to defend their students. You know. Just
What?
saying.
No. Society should defend the
Just saying,
children.
it would
It is
help
not
you.
up
It
to
would
the
solve
teachers.
so many problems between you and the parents and everybody else. So
Nah,
Anyway.
man, nah.
So, Cookie, knowing that there is a that you have been up here and that there's kind of a building where you have seen other or you've seen Rishi, live in. Are you gonna head towards there? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, I would definitely kind of start heading towards the place that I know. you know,
Okay. All
like
right.
the market or like the central kind of area.
So what you're seeing as you're kind of moving along, and because you all kind of did fairly well in your perceptions, there's nothing. There's no movement. It's the wind. There's a lot of wind up here just from being on top of a mountain, and it all kind of flows through the windows and makes kind of this weird whistling sound, like. The houses that were at one point lived in and Rishi resided in doesn't seem to be active anymore. You do get to the building though that has that you are familiar with, that has dealt with trading, but the door is closed. The door is made out of wood. The windows are open because there are no window closings up here, and it's dark. What do you guys do?
I would definitely like to look in one of the windows for sure.
Sure, give me a perception check. 2 purple.
While he's doing that, Quigley is finding somewhere with like decent cover from everywhere and just like covering everybody as
Sure.
they proceed forward.
Are you going to try and maybe scale one of the houses, or where are you trying to go in one? Like, where are you going?
I guess he would try to like scale the house and like try to get like a better view of, even though like it's been told to him that these people are avian, but if it is the Empire and the stormtroopers that start walking up, it'd be better to be up high to have a clear shot down low.
Okay, give me an athletics roll.
All right.
2 purple, 1 black.
I'm scared.
What'd you get, James?
I got 1 triumph, 1 threat.
Ooh, girl.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. So for your triumph, I'll let you think about this. What are you specifically looking for? What is Cookie trying to identify by looking into this window?
I would say that the reason that Cookie was going towards this specific building is probably because there's someone there that they know. And rather than go walk into somebody's living room, it made more sense to head for the building where they're known and kind of could be recognized. Finding the doors closed, looking in the window was really just kind of what else would you do? You know, is anybody there? Is anybody, what the hell is going on? Not really thinking danger. I mean, a little bit, because always a little bit of danger, but looking for anybody that might be inside, or at the very least, like signs of a struggle. Like, what's the inside look like?
So as you look in, you just know your good old Wookiee eyes, and just having known this building and what the layout is, you can see that there's nobody in there. That it is dark. However, there is a piece of there's going to be a small kind of papyrus looking thing, like almost like a letter or something, on one of the back desks that are sitting against the wall. So there's multiple desks in this building where people would, or Rishi or Zeltrons would go and kind of take something and lay it out and be like, here, let's do this trade here, or I'm working on something here. This is kind of a multifaceted building. So that is what you see. You don't see anybody in there.
Okay. I would turn around and kind of look to the rest of the group and see what everybody else was doing.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Kind of give the what should we do shrug.
Well, Quigley, like,
I guess basically just to Belandi, because Quigley's on a roof and
left up to him.
hiding someplace. Like, hey, where
There's
did
like
everybody go?
There's a box you see slowly shuffling around.
It's like, well, Noah is undercover, so
solid snake.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we're on her home. What you see?
Empty.
Oh, is that normal for this city? No. Let's keep going that way, and then she's just gonna load her blaster and just start walking. Okay.
Wait a second, and I try the door to see if it's locked or if it's open.
It's open. The door's open.
So open the door, and that letter that was sitting on the desk kind of caught my attention. So just kind of wandering in to see if there's blood on the floor in the back, or just at least grab that letter and then go head after Belandi.
Sure. So as you open the door, it is not locked. It is open. There is no sign of struggle. There's no blood. There's no evident blaster marks or anything like that where you would think that there was an attack of some sort. But things are neatly packed away. Things it looks like possibly that they knew that, or they were expecting to leave, so they made preparations to do so. The letter is there. There is a letter on the table, and it is simply it is signed the name Kaiser on it.
What is that all I can see is the name on it, or can I read it?
If you want to open it, yes.
I'll actually bring it out to like Belandi and like kind of hand it to her.
And I'm gonna take the envelope and think about opening it. But then I look at Cookie and be like, should we give this back to Kaiser? Okay. Should we take it back or I mean it could be important now.
Open it.
Oh, Boxman says open. He's gonna carefully open it up.
You open it?
Yep.
Bomb.
Right?
Well
like
it's a papyrus letter. Explodes. All right. There is a letter. There is a letter. It is written in a language. Why don't you give me some genealogy?
Nah, don't do it.
Okay, so
There's no
genealogy, that would be under charisma, right?
It's intelligence.
Oh, okay. So intelligent.
And it's going to be
And what's the difficulty?
2 purple.
One advantage.
1 advantage. Okay. The language you're not quite familiar with. It's definitely not common. It's definitely not what you would consider common in the Galactic. It is a language that is very scratchy, possibly even written by a Talon. Who knows? But it's not something that you recognize. Cookie, you
read over her shoulder.
You absolutely can. Why don't you make a genealogy roll? You know for a fact that Kaiser does know the language of the Rishi.
That is 2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, so you're able to discern a little bit, possibly, from maybe Kaiser kind of gave you some, just some basic, when you went up to speak with the Rishi, this is what you say, this is what you look for, and there are numbers in this letter, and it seems to be possibly numbers of a frequency, like of a radio frequency. And that's all you really can discern. You pick out numbers, and that's kind of what you can discern from it. Nothing else, majorly.
Okay. I would pass that information on to Belandi via the translator.
Interesting. Would you happen to know where the town hall for the city is?
Is that something that I would know?
You would know that the building that you're standing in almost kind of is for that. They have
Oh, okay.
This is where they would have gathered to do any sort of trades, or just to have a center, have a community center. This would be it.
Well, I guess if no one's here, we should just search for transmitter. Is it transmitter or comlink? Like,
I would want to be I guess I would search for the parts that I need for the ship.
Mm-hmm.
If there's like a warehouse or someplace or hell, like I'm not sure where I would look, but kind of start looking around to see if I could find the parts that I need.
Sure. So the parts I'm going to make you do a perception check. And Jasmine, you had asked about the communicator, right, or a comm link.
Yes.
Why don't you, Cookie? You know that they do have a kind of like a communicator, like I want to think of a CB radio, but it's not that. It's
Like
you
a
know
radio tower kind of thing, like a transmitter?
Yes, you know that they do have one. It's attached to this building. There's another building kind of, in the same rock shelf. That's it's just next door if it's still there.
Yeah, so I'd kind of start leading her in that direction.
And why don't you give me a perception Cookie of 2 purple.
2 purple.
And what are you guys doing? You guys that are hiding and scoping.
So I'm gonna start just trying to figure out what happened here, just going through the different buildings and such. Try to get a better handle.
Okay. Are you looking through any of the are you looking through any of the buildings?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a perception as well.
Trying to figure out how much like Starship Troopers this is gonna be.
That was 2 success, 1 threat for me.
Okay.
3 successes, 1 threat.
Okay.
I'm continuing to keep lookout.
Overwatch, baby.
More worried about being ambushed than finding anything at this point.
Okay. And what'd you get, Jasmine? Did I get you to do a roll?
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was doing perception
don't worry.
roll or like a strength check.
No,
to try
no,
and pull this.
No. Okay. So, James, Cookie has led Blondie to the side building where this large, there's a communication device. And you're able to find it. The door is open to this little building, and you see the communication device. It is completely shut off, though. There is no power. And between this building and the one that you were just in is where you would find the parts. You find, what were you looking for specifically? Do you have any idea?
Windshield wiper fluids, definitely.
Yeah.
Blinker fluid.
Yeah, blinker fluids.
Definitely.
Elbow grease, yeah.
Probably there's a like a flux modulator for the engine number 1 that replaced. The housing was cracked, and it just can't be. It's one of those pieces that you can't weld, or it's gonna fail on you. Especially, jumping to hyperspace. Looking for a damn trigger mechanism, and at least a half a dozen fuses of varying sizes. Also, a cappuccino machine.
You find the cappuccino machine and nothing else.
Priorities.
Worth it.
Put it in my inventory.
So, you are able to find with the large communication device. There are some other electronic mechanical devices here, and you can see that maybe you can scrap some of this. That if you start to maybe work on this, pulling some stuff, that maybe there's stuff that you could use. So
I have a thing.
You do have a thing.
Redundant systems.
Yes.
Once per session, I can make an easy mechanics check to harvest components from a functioning device without breaking the functioning device.
Do it. I want that roll. That is what I want.
All right. So how do roll mechanics? And
yep. It's easy. 1 purple.
1 purple. Can I also apply my gearhead to that and reduce it by 1?
In this case, no. In this case, we have to have. That's the minimum challenge I have to do. So.
All right. And so my mechanics is. Give me 2 seconds. 2 yellow, 1 green. Rolling. 1 success, 2 advantages.
Okay. No, absolutely. This is up your alley. This is what what you like to do.
In my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you see this and you're like, oh man, I know exactly what parts are in that, and I know how to get it, and I'm just gonna. This is it. So,
like the savant kind of like glazed over cathartic look, goes over the Wookiee, and they just go to work.
Yes. Blondie, do you try and do anything with the communication device before you?
I'm gonna try and see if I can take a part of it with me, like for the ship, because I'm sure they have comlinks on there too.
Do you want to assist Cookie with what they're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So
All right.
salvaging parts and also trying to figure out if is it worth just turning on the comm system for a second to send out a message and then turn it off, or
Yeah. If you while assisting Cookie, if Cookie wants to try and maybe turn on the comm thing, that would be a thing. You can also try and do that if you want. Do you want to try and turn
What
it
I'm
on?
doing is not breaking it. Very specific.
Yes.
yeah.
You want to try and turn it on?
Yep. I'm gonna help Cookie with his thing first and then
Okay.
do mine. So.
Okay. I'll let that kind of happen. Going back over to Noah.
What up?
So, you're going through the houses, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what you are seeing is some very much what the other buildings had. It looks as if whomever was here packed things up. There's it's not like as if they had hurriedly left. Like you're not seeing meals out on the table and like things distraught and nothing has been ransacked, nothing has been taken, but everything is just kind of packed away. But there are still like little common things, I don't know, like little pieces of decoration, so they haven't taken everything. It's just all packed away.
I'll start unpacking some of this stuff.
Okay.
Checking it out.
Wait, hang on, Alex. Does it look like they've packed stuff and then not taken it with them?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, like a lot of little personal effects, like little toys or like just little tchotchke type things. They're still around. Yeah, that's what you're seeing. All right.
Got a bad feeling about this.
So as you continue to do this, the sun is getting lower into the horizon. Now that you're on top of the mountain, you can kind of see just how quickly that once the sun starts to set, how quickly it goes down. So as you're doing your various investigation, Quigley, who is wake up, I love you. Quigley, who is continuing to maintain a strict vigil over all of you as you continue to look about. Quigley.
Yes.
Give me a perception roll.
Quigley the Wiggly.
3 purple, 1
Jesus
black.
Christ.
Yes.
You don't want
Wake up.
him
This
to
is what you get
see-
for sleepsin'. For sleepsin' in my games.
I'm not sleeping.
You're a sleepsin'.
I was not.
Sleepsin'.
He was
Rest
staring
in
at his Yoda.
eyes. I'm sorry though, my yawns are getting strong, guys.
It's okay. A little bit more.
I'm trying to sip my juice over here, and I'm like, that's
Oh damn.
kind of helping.
I gotta wash.
Gotta wash. Okay.
Yeah.
So as the sun is starting to kind of go down, you've been staring through this scope for a really long time. This has been, been at least 2 hours or an hour and a half or so.
Right.
As you're, I would say closer to an hour. I don't know. You've been sitting here for, kneeling here for a long time, and you just have to take your eyes away for a minute, rub them, refocus. And as you are doing that, something just seems really off. Like something is just out of the corner of your eye. Boom.
Okay.
All of you. I want you to you all hear a thunderous boom, as if 1,000 hammers came crashing down onto stone.
Yeah, I'm rolling under a bed.
It makes
More
the
like
very mountain that you stand on tremble a little.
Is it more like a concussion, like something hit, or like an explosion?
A concussion.
Okay.
It is a loud boom. Give me what you guys are doing. You just heard this. It is a loud boom.
I'm just looking at it.
Okay.
Through the scope.
Does anybody else choose to
God.
try and investigate where this noise came from.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll sneakily try to look out the window and see what we got here.
All right, y'all give me a perception check, 2 purple.
Yeah, I think that Cookie would just be kind of like pulling the last piece out, and right when that kind of happened, and kind of jump up and look to Blondie, and then kind of head to the door to see what was out there.
Yeah, I would have like unpacked one of those squishy toys that go like. You know,
Definitely
the
doing
stress
the same
toy?
thing.
Yeah, I was
Like
like,
the
what is
mark
that?
The eyes bug out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like.
All right. So, what did who was looking? Who's looking?
I got 1 success.
Do we roll
Okay.
sanity if we look? And
Yes.
I got 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Okay, James.
I got 1 success, 1 threat.
Okay. All right.
I have a
So
wash.
you have a wash. Okay.
Yep.
Because there's a Wookiee in the way.
So as you all kind of leave the buildings that you were in, and Quigley, you kind of turn around to where this sound kind of came from, you all very much realize that this sound did not come from directly where you are. This sound sounded like thunder almost, where you were getting the wave of sound as it must have come through.
Oh man, I bet someone's bombing the village.
I was just gonna say, oh shit, the village.
So
Kids! The kids are in the
That's what I'm saying. Like, no.
No!
All right, what do we see?
So what you see, the sound is coming from not the direction of the village.
Whew.
Not from the direction of the village. As you get to a place where you can kind of, not have anything in front of you obscuring your view, and you can see out over the rest of this planet, and not just these 2 mountain ridges that you've been like sneaking in and staying in. You can see the rest of this large tropical planet. In the distance, you see looming on the horizon a very, very familiar triangle ship. I have to say triangle ship because my old GM used to call them triangle ships.
Oh hey guys, look, it's
the very
It's the
same
flying evil cheese.
the evil cheese, the destroyer, a destroyer, possibly the destroyer. Quigley, because you have a scope and because you got some successes, you're the one. You can see this. This destroyer is the destroyer that you saw in the distance as you were leaving Tig. It's not the Empire Star Destroyer. It is the sharper, darker, scarier one. The one that was crafted by an artist who is fanatical about the way things fit and the way things are designed.
Okay, so it's probably belongs to that person that was chasing us.
As you
Oh no!
as you stand there, you see a orange light emit from the bottom of this Star Destroyer, and as if a pulse has been sent out from the bowels of hell, come crashing down onto the planet's surface with another loud boom. And from that impact, you don't quite feel it at first, but seconds later, that same boom that you hear rocks the foundation of a mountain that you stand on.
Are they trying to blow up the planet?
And like you hear things breaking on from the houses, and you hear the tremble of this. And that's what you see.
So Quigley's going to hop down from the rooftop and just immediately start running back towards the
Hauling ass back to the lift. Yeah.
and just kind of yelling at everybody on the way. It's like, time to go, let's go, come on.
Cookie is right behind you.
Where are we gonna go?
I'm gonna grab
village.
Noah and just run to the thing.
Our ship's grounded.
Box Noah. Like,
All right.
come on.
Not anymore. You have the parts.
How long will it take for that to be done?
So, yes, Cookie, you go back for the parts that you scavenged, right? Or
Yes.
do you?
Well, I figured as I was playing them out, I was like stuffing them in like a satchel or something, and kind of had the last part in my hand when shit blew up.
Okay. So that you do. You all are trying to make it back to the stairs to get back to the lift.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Give me a coordination roll as you guys are crashing down those stairs. And it's going to be 2 purple, 1 black, 1 red. You're high up.
I am not that coordinated. Shit.
You're a Wookiee.
Oh, not bad. 1 success, 2 threats.
Holy
That's not bad.
hell. 3 failures, 2 threats.
Okay.
3 successes, 2 threats.
Okay.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
All right. So this is how this happens. This is what this looks like. Cookie has the longest stride amongst you all. Cookie can kind of haul when they need to. So Cookie gets to the stairs first, and they know the stairs. And even though they have some stuff in their arms, they're moving down because they know they have to also get this thing, the platform, to move, and they know that there's a little bit of a startup to that. So they're going down. Noah, as you hit those stairs.
Katamari Damacy.
Yes. Perhaps you remove too quickly. Perhaps another concussive boom could be heard or something. Either way, you fall. You lose your footing. Your foot slides out from underneath you, and you quickly realize you can't stop. You're sliding down these steps.
I'm like, shit!
Blondie, you got the most successes. I need you right now to do 1 coordination roll.
1 coordination roll.
Yeah.
Is there a difficulty with that?
There is going to be a difficulty.
Oh,
It's going to be.
boy.
Remember also that you have destiny points.
Oh yeah, I
but
will
those
like to
help us,
spend
right?
it on this one.
They do help you.
All
right.
I'm gonna spend 1.
First, we'll do you want to use it as a to make the challenge less difficult, or to build up yours, or do you want to try and roll it and then do a re-roll if you fail?
I'm gonna try and roll it.
Okay.
Just
All
to
right.
see what would happen, and then if it's not bad, I'm gonna leave it.
2 purple, 1 black, 1 red.
Okay. And did I click it? I click it. Okay, so 1 success, 1 threat.
Okay. All right. So with that success, you are able, and once again, perhaps it was just, a feeling that you had, an instinct, something that called just a moment before it would have been too late. But you hear it and you listen to it. You stick your hand out and you're able to grab hold of Noah's shirt right as he's about to go flying down the mountain off of these stairs into who knows where.
Oh,
This is the 4th time, Noah.
Woo!
4th time.
Oh, keep it a running count.
Just put me back
I
on
only
the
got 1.
platform. I'm afraid of heights.
So you're able to wrangle Noah back
Oh,
just in the nick of time. And Quigley, you are there as well and are able to kind of help her and steady her. But you're able to get him back on the stairs. So do you guys continue to the platform once we know Noah's not going to go flying off?
Yeah.
Cookie is waving everybody come on, let's go.
Yeah. All right. All right. Make 1 mechanics roll, Cookie. 2 purple, 1 black.
Yes. So while we're getting ready to move down, Quigley is very astutely looking at the mechanism that's holding the binding on this other side.
Okay.
He's looking at the mountain that the part of the mountain it's anchored to and what's holding it there and all this other stuff. And yeah, he's definitely planning something, but he's trying to figure out how it's anchored and what we where it's weakest at and everything.
like the buildings that are a part of the mountain? Is that what you're looking at?
No, so like the scaffolding or whatever we're on that's
Oh,
gonna
oh, the
like lower
platform.
us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking at how that's anchored
Okay.
to the mountain.
Okay. Yeah. It's anchored. That's exactly what it's got pins and there are support beams that they have drilled into the mountain. It looks like, this was a large effort that was done to do that. But and perhaps that is why now that it's broken, that it's they just haven't gotten all those things that they could build it with. So anyway, that is what you see for that. Yes.
That was 1 success, 2 advantages.
Okay. So as you all get onto the platform, and Cookie raises the lever, pushes the button, and the platform kind of jars and starts to move its way down the side of the mountain. You feel it again. The large boom of whatever the ship is firing, pulsing, who knows, into this planet, and the seismic waves that are occurring from that. You feel it hit this mountain region again and again. Give me a coordination roll. One last one for tonight.
I don't want to fail though.
2 purple, 1 black, 1 red. Deal with it.
Oh, 1 black.
1 black, 1 red, 2 purple. Hey, we still got a force dice as a group, guys.
You do. We all have a force dice.
Don't use it. Never use it.
It's just. I mean, did we use the last one last time? Because we were like down.
No, we had 1 left over at the end.
But they reset after every game.
Oh, okay. So we still got 2. So hey,
we got
have
we
one.
can use
You have
one
one
if
left
we really need
because
to.
Blondie used 1, right?
Actually, no, she didn't. She didn't end up using it. So I'm sorry. You do have 2. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Cool.
Jess was right.
I got 2 advantages.
Okay.
Success.
What'd you get? Sorry.
1 success, 2 failures.
Okay.
1 success, 2 threats. Sorry.
Okay.
And I got 3 threats.
Okay.
I got 3 success, 3 threats.
Okay, cool. So so Blondie, you as this, this second or this third shockwave now hits the platform, starts to sway, and perhaps you just used a little bit too much energy when you're trying to grab Noah, but you start to kind of maybe feel that your center of balance is off, but Cookie is right there. They are right there, and they're able to kind of see that and maybe hold on to you, or you're able to grab onto them. But
the mom arm.
Yeah, mom arm. Cookie is stable, and you're able to grab onto that. So as you make your way, as this platform moves, continuing your way down, seems to go a lot faster going down than it does up. And perhaps Cookie is really laying on it and has released some of the brakes and everything to just get down there a little bit quicker. But as you approach and reach the village, you see that all the Zeltrons, all the kids, everybody is out in the center of the town and just looking up towards where you just came from. And they're all looking at you as if, you have brought, the sounds and all of this. And they're all kind of looking at you, and Kaiza is there and is kind of just, like, what's going on?
I'm gonna start sprinting towards Kaiza and give her the letter. I'm so sorry, but we have to go. We have to go.
I'm like, everyone's gonna die. The Empire's here. They're blowing up the planet. Run!
I know.
Run, everyone!
Quigley is just going to
It's fine. Leave him. Leave him.
His children and pick them up and be like, "All right, time to go."
So, Kaiza will take the letter that that Belandi gave, and just kind of look and look amongst the group, and say, if there is a time to believe in prayers, now would be the time, my friends.
The time's to fucking run.
And that is where I'm going to end it tonight. For everybody.
All right, give me that sweet XP. That's what I'm here for. Come on.
All right. All right. I don't want to lead everybody up to thinking that something, might be happening, because our next game could possibly be on Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
Hey, that means we actually have to dress up, guys.
Or Revenge of the
Put, like, a
Revenge of
little
the Sith.
effort.
I'm always dressed up as Noah. I don't know what you guys are doing.
And because
That's true.
it is going to be a special game, next game, very special game. I have very special things planned. Some bigger storyline tie-ins. Woo.
Yeah.
Because of that, and because I think my team really could maybe use some help, 10 experience points.
Oh, snap. Yeah. I could finally get that specialization of cooking I wanted.
So that was awesome. I'm so happy I got to reveal that I can force heal people now.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So, thank you everyone for watching. This was Star Wars. As I said, next game is on May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day. And I'm not going to say that there's going to be extra cool special things, but there's going to be extra cool special things.
Already!
So, I am Alex. I'm going to go around again. Everybody can say their goodbyes and plugs and whatnot. I'm going to start with Jasmine.
Hi guys, I'm a regular and part of the Penny for a Tale fam by this point. On my channel, I am Geeky Nomad. We'll probably be back sometime next week or possibly towards the end of the month. We're going to have conversations about convention safety, because who knows what this pandemic is going to do and how that's going to look like in a year. But I just want everybody to know that we'll be back. We'll be learning how to body paint, especially for people who don't like physical paint on them, how to use eyeshadow instead of paint. And then, of course, lots of fun other stuff happening. Check out YouTube, check out all the socials in the thing. I'm sure it'll be there. Good stuff. We'll see you next game, and I'll be full Belandi mode. So.
Yes. James.
I am James. I just started a new Twitter account at Wookie Cookies. 2 E's on the Wookie and 2 E's on the cookie. Nothing posted yet, but keep an eye out there. Other than that, I'm just a normal guy.
You're just the best Wookiee.
I'll be the best little guy.
Yes. Daniel.
So hopefully I'll be able to start running a new game on Fridays coming up. Me and Mitchell are going to see if I'm able to do solo runs, and that's going to be fun, but keep an eye out for that. And that's all I'm excited about right now.
I miss you, Daniel. I miss seeing Daniel. He's my good friends. And Mitchell, who I also miss, but not as much. Just kidding. Just
Okay,
kidding.
I'll remember that Monday because my game's coming up.
What game is that, Mitchell? Tell us of all the games going on.
All right, so believe it or not, but Sunday is Age of Ashes, Pathfinder 2E. We're going to get into some shit. The following day, we're already in some shit with Cult, Black Madonna. And
That was such a cool episode. Oh my god, I watched. That was so cool.
It's awesome. It gets better. I promise. It's gonna be amazing. If you like what we do, feel free to follow and sub right above Jasmine. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just go below me and hit that subscribe button. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Throw some bits at us.
Yeah, throw some bits.
Bits are appreciated.
May the force be with every single one of you.
Live
Come
long
back.
and prosper.
No, May the 4th. Yes, here.